Hey, Year 11, we're going to start to look at the financial side of things now. So we're doing 4B, which is simple interest. Now, you may have heard about interest rates on bank accounts. Now, there's a couple of different types of interest. Uh, One's called simple interest, which we're going to look at right now, and the other one's called compound interest, which we'll focus on a little bit later. But simple interest, with that one, what happens is you make an initial deposit, which might be called the principal, and then your interest rate, depending on what it was, it'll go up by the same amount each year, or per annum, or annually. Okay, so what we need to realize with simple interest is it goes up at this by the same amount each time. So it's actually very similar to an arithmetic sequence where we're going to have the starting number and then we go up by the same amount each time. Okay, so I've written that in dot points up the top. So simple interest is like an arithmetic sequence that we've been practicing. You have a certain starting amount and we increase by the same amount each time period. Okay, so that's some of the info that you're going to be given, which again we have in dot points here. So you'll be told the initial amount that's put into an account. It might be called investment, it might be called principal as well. You'll be given an interest rate, and it's uses the term per annum, which means per year. You might remember the word annual, which means per year. It sounds like annum. And it'll give you a length of time as well. So what we're going to do here is use that sort of information that we're given to work out how much money we're going to have over a certain amount of time. Okay, so what would happen? Let's just look at the first example. What would happen here? We have $100 to start with. Okay, so that's going to be our first term here, and then it's told us that we're going to increase by 10% each time. So to work out how much that 10% is, we'd just be timesing our starting amount by 0.1. Okay, so times 0.1, and that's going to give us 10. So the amount of interest that we're going to earn in a year is actually $10. Okay, and because it's simple interest, that just keeps reoccurring. So we start off with 100. After the first year, you'd add 10 onto it. After the second year, you'd add another 10 onto it. Do we see how it keeps on going up by the same amount? Okay, so after 1 year, we'd have 110 because we started with 100. So that's what we have after the first year. After the second year, we have that. After the third year, we have that. And there we go. So after 5 years, we've gone from 100 all the way up to 150. We can see that that difference is $50. So we earned $50 interest on that original $100 investment. Okay, so we'll finish that one. Now let's look at this dot point here. So we can use the following formula to calculate interest over lengths of time. So with this here, I didn't use the formula. I've just kind of done it another way off the top of my head. And you can do this, except if we're asked for how much interest over 100 years, that's going to be a lot more things we have to write out. So that's going to take forever. That's why it comes in handy to use this formula here. Now you'll see in the formula there's a heap of different letters. So there's I, P, R, and T. It tells us what they are here. So I is interest, which goes here. You'll be told that. I know that's how much. That's what you'll be working out. So the amount of interest that you're paid. P is the principal, which goes just here. So that's the amount that could be deposited into the account to begin with. So that's the initial amount. R is the interest rate. You'll be told that one. So it could be 5%, could be 10%, whatever, you'll be told. And T is the time period, and it's going to be in years. All right, so let's use this formula here to answer the next question. All right, so how much simple interest will be paid on a $40,000 loan with an interest rate of 3.85% per annum for a period of 14 months? Okay, so all we need to do for this example is plug all these values into our formula here. So we're trying to work out the interest paid, so I equals. The next thing we need to put in is, again, it's a fraction. That's all over 100. All right, so we need to put in P, which is the principal. So how much simple interest will be paid on a $40,000 loan? So the starting amount is 40,000. There we go. The next thing we need to add is the interest rate, R. So we're told that the interest rate is 3.85. So let's put that in there. And the next thing we need is the time, and it's in years. Okay, so this is a little bit harder for this one because it says 14 months. Okay, so you wouldn't put 14 in here because that would be meaning 14 years. Okay, now if we want to work out how many years are in 14 months, we'll just divide that by the amount of months in a year. So 14 months divided by 12. So that's going to be just over 1 year, isn't it? Which makes sense with 14 months. All right, now all you need to do, put this into your calculator once you've substituted those values in, and it will give you your answer. So the answer for this one would be $1,796.67. Now we should really give our answer a unit of measurement. Now I haven't put dollars here, so you really should show that it's dollars. There we go. So it's a matter of plugging values that you're told in the question into this formula here. This formula is super, super important. You're going to keep on using it, so make sure you've got it ready to go in your notes.